Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. It is a cold day here in the foothills of the mountains of Western North Carolina. We had a surprise little snowstorm come up yesterday. I'm gonna put a little bit of footage of that over me talking here for just a second to kind of show you what we had. We've not had any appreciable snow here in about 2 years, so nice to look at. I don't care for the snow, but still pretty to look at. So today, I wanted to do a market report. And what I mean by that, those of you that have been with the channel for a long time, occasionally on Saturday afternoon after we get back from the markets, we will do a market report to kind of talk about our day and how our day went. And in the past, I know I did this last year. In the past, we've done a little bit of this kind of recapping the entire year. So I thought it would be nice to kind of go back and look at our numbers for 2024 and kind of talk about, you know, some changes that we had made and some things that we had done and how that how that looks on paper at the end of the year. I'll go ahead and warn you, this is going to be a talking head video, so just settle in and get ready for the ride. So 2024, big year. First off, let's talk about some changes that we made. One of the first and the biggest change that we made was in our market setup this year. We bought a 14-foot V-nose trailer that was already pre-wired. We put a new floor in that, and then we put some graphics on the outside, of course, and then we added 3 freezers on the inside of that trailer, and that became our mobile farm store. And instead of taking all of those coolers and those little magnetic signs that we would set up in front of the coolers, we started taking the trailer and we would set the trailer up, open the doors up, and folks could just come in and shop inside the trailer. And that was a real nice change. We got a ton of positive feedback on that. I don't think we had a, excuse me, I don't think we had a single negative piece of feedback because of our trailer. Another big change, we dropped not one, but 2 farmers markets in 2024. Historically, we had been doing the farmers market in Clemens. We'd been doing the farmers market in Boone. We'd been doing the farmers market in High Point, and we had picked up a small farmers market in a church parking lot in Smith Grove, which is near Moxville. Last year, we dropped Smith Grove. They didn't have their market, and we also dropped High Point, which High Point was the very first market we started going to. It was our biggest market to begin with, and even after we started doing Clemens, High Point remained our biggest market. But we saw a stagnation there, a little bit of a decline, not much, but we saw a stagnation there. And so we decided to pool our resources, all of our product, and take all of that to our Clemens market on Saturday. So Clemens became our big market. We were doing that on Saturday. We were doing a market up in Boone, North Carolina on Tuesdays. And also, excuse me, we dropped the winter part of the Boone market for the last half of 2024. So we did not participate in that market during the month of December. So that is essentially 4 weeks worth of sales that we did not have at a winter market up there. So we dropped 2 and part of another market in 2024. So those were the big changes. Add the market trailer and then dropping a couple of markets. And when we started running the numbers, we were really surprised at what a difference, or really not much of a difference, that actually made for us. So I want to talk about our numbers, and I'm going to go through, like I always do on these videos, we're going to go through some high-level stuff. We're not going to, we're not going to give exact dollar figures. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We're not going to give exact dollar figures, but I'm going to talk about our big sellers and what sold the most for us and how that really kind of affected and played into what we were doing. First off, and I always started our market reports with this, and I'm going to start this one with it. In 2024, excuse me, we had 1,806 transactions, 1,806 customer transactions. That does include bulk purchases, but that is 1,806 opportunities that we had as a local regenerative farm, a local small business, to put food on the tables of our customers. That's the mark for us. We want to continue to be able to feed local families with high quality, locally raised protein. And to be able to do that 1,806 times is huge. But that was a drop of 40%. That was a drop of 40% in our sales numbers over 2023. So we had a drop of 40% from 2023 to 2024. But our average transaction, our average dollar amount per transaction was up over 55%. So while we had fewer transactions, the transactions that we did have were much, much higher. And I'll be quite frank with you, we did not adjust our prices very much. We did not adjust our prices 55% worth. So while we had fewer transactions, customers were buying more. We saw a huge, huge increase in our bulk sales. And I'll talk about that in a minute this year. I'll talk about that in a minute. Had a huge increase in our bulk sales. And overall, we consider the year a win. We are very pleased with what we had. So let's talk about what we sold the most of. Now, these are individual items. These do not include, like, for example, I'm going to talk about ground beef in a minute. I'm talking about individual packs of ground beef. It does not include the ground beef that was sold in some of our bulk boxes. It doesn't include some poultry that was sold in variety boxes and some of that kind of thing. So this is just individual items. 2024, we sold 700 dozen eggs. 700 dozen eggs. And I'm going to tell y'all about our eggs. I could have sold another 700 if I'd had them. There was not a market that went by that we did not go to where we sold out of eggs and continued to have customers come to us after the eggs were sold. There was none left on the table asking, have you got any eggs for sale? And just having those eggs out there is a visual clue for customers to come in. So I wonder how many customers walked by, did not see eggs, didn't even come over and ask about them. But we sold 700 dozen eggs, and I firmly, firmly believe I could have sold another 700 if I'd had them. And now as we go into 2025, we're seeing egg prices going up. Our egg production is down. We're working to try to get that, try to get our egg production back up. So eggs, huge, huge seller. The next item, ground beef. We sold 526 individual packs of ground beef. Now, like I say, that does not include ground beef boxes. We have options for a 5, a 10, and a 20-pound ground beef box. This number does not include that. The 526 packs of ground beef doesn't include those boxes. Ground beef is a huge seller for us. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what to do with it. It's an easy 1-pound pack. You can buy it, take it home, make burgers, tacos, pasta sauce, meatloaf, whatever you want to do with it. Ground beef is just easy. It's recognizable. Folks know what it is, as is eggs. So that's an item that people just flock to, and it sells well. One other thing on eggs I'll talk about, eggs are a great gateway product. Everybody knows what eggs are. You know what to do with them. People come by for the very first time. They're kind of talking to you, looking at you, asking you a bunch of questions. They say, hey, I think I'll buy a dozen eggs. It's good, low cost, easy to carry, know what to do with it. They take those eggs home. They like them. They come back. Maybe next week they want to try a pack of bacon. They like their eggs and their bacon. Now maybe they come back and they want to try some chicken. And then the next week they come back and they want to try some beef as well. Before you know it, you now have a customer that is buying almost every product line from you, from that one gateway product, which was eggs. So eggs, huge seller for us. Chicken breast. Chicken breast was number 3 in line. We sold 293 packs of chicken breast, 199 packs of bacon, 177 chicken leg quarters, 140 packs of hot bulk sausage, 133 packs of boneless chops, 131 whole chickens, and then tied for, I think this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tied at number 9, filet mignon and New York strip. Sold 129 packs of both of those. And then at number 10, tied at number 10, new product that I think we added it this year, huge seller. We thought it took off and done really, really well. Our hot dogs and our mild bulk sausage, both of those we sold 125 packs of both of those items. So that's the top 10. Those are the items that we sold the most of. Now, those were not the items that grossed the most dollar figure. And like I said, I'm not going to talk specifically about dollar figures and how much each item or each category of item grossed for us. But what I am going to do is, for our friends over on Patreon, I'm going to do a full breakdown over there, and we will talk specific numbers. I'll give you the numbers. And for those of you that are not Patreon members, but you'd like to see that, we have an option. We can make that available to you for a small cost. And you can beat me up if you want, but I mean, this is some sensitive information. We're putting some sensitive information out there, and I just don't want it broadcast to the masses without there being, a little bit of skin in the game. So if you'd like to hear those numbers, we're going to make this available to you over there. You can join if you'd like. Totally up to you. No pressure whatsoever. But if you want to peek a little bit further behind the curtain, we will be glad to make that available for you over there. So let's talk about the items that grossed the most in sales. The first item that grossed the most in sales in terms of dollar figure, and we only sold 25 of them, was 1/2 beef. We saw our sales this year go up probably 3 times. We sold a lot more wholes and halves in the beef world and in the pig world, and we done a little bit, not quite as much as we did last year, but we done just a little bit in bulk chicken. We offer bulk chicken. Folks want to buy, I think the number is 10. We'll cut a little bit per pound off the price. Then if it's 10 whole birds, we'll cut a little bit off the price, but if you want them cut up, we'll cut them up for you. We'll charge you $1 a piece. So that's a great deal if you want to buy bulk whole chicken. We've done that a number of times for folks. The next item that was the highest grossing, and it actually, about 20% of the half beef, whole hog. We sold 8 whole pigs, and that was the second highest dollar grossing item. So that bulk purchase, those were the 2 big ones. Those were the 2 highest grossing items, and both of them were bulk. So we've seen a big increase in our bulk sales this year, and we're going to try to continue to cultivate more and more of that. It's a great way for folks to get a lot of product at a better price, put it in your freezer, stock up, and have some food security in your home. I had a customer pick up a half beef the other day. This was like his 4th one that he had bought. I said, "Man, how's everything going? You like it?" He said, "We eat more beef because it's there, because it's handy. If I decide I want a roast, I decide I want a steak, I decide we want to do meatloaf with ground, I don't have to run to the store and get it. The store is downstairs in the freezer in the basement." So that is a real selling point for those customers that want to stock up. They want some food safety. They want some food security. Know that they're getting a good product, and they've got it on hand. That's the convenience. The convenience is huge. Third highest grossing product for the year, chicken breast. We sold 293 of those, but in terms of dollar figure, it was number 3. Ground beef was 4th in line. That was we sold 526 packs of ground beef. That was the 4th highest grossing in terms of dollar figures. Then whole chickens, chicken eggs, whole beef. We only sold 1 whole beef, which I'm fine with, considering that if you take 25, divide that by 2, that's 12 and a half. I sold 13 and a half cows out of here in bulk last year. And I don't remember how many we processed. We processed a lot more than 13. I think we were doing 2, 3, sometimes 4 and 5 a month. So a lot of retail sales on beef, but we also sold quite a bit in terms of the bulk side. Chicken leg quarters was next, bacon, and then boneless chops. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's the top 10 in terms of top grossing items. And that, looking at it, just kind of swagging it, that's probably about half of our sales. That's probably about half of our sales. So, what's 2025 going to bring? I believe 2025 for us is going to bring more bulk sales. Like I said, we're going to concentrate on trying to cultivate those customers and do more of that and continue to share and sell folks on why buying bulk is best. So in order to do that, we're going to have to have more animals, more cattle. So we're going to be working to do that. Pigs, we've got some big changes coming with our pork market, and chicken. I just don't see a whole lot of change in how we're doing our pastured poultry. We had a good year with pastured poultry last year. If you look at it, it was the chicken breast, that was the third highest grossing item in terms of dollar figures, and it also was the third highest in terms of item sales. So, we sell a ton of chicken. Chicken is easy. Chicken is a great seller. Everybody knows what to do with chicken. And we sell a premium bird, pasture raised, no hormones, no antibiotics, moved daily. It's just, we're kind of getting that thing down. We're really getting that chicken thing down. So don't see much change in the chicken markets. Again, we've elected not to do a winter market this year because of, we just kind of need a little bit of a break. And looking at our sales numbers, I believe we can make up for that as we move forward. We're talking about doing some more on-farm sales here using that market trailer that we had used last year. We had set it up in the yard down here a couple of times and had an on-farm day where folks could come up here and shop. Kicking and toying around with the idea of building an on-farm store. Still don't know where that's going to land, what we're going to do with that. We'll be going back to the Clemens market this year. We'll be doing the Boone market on Tuesdays during the summer season. So I think that's about it. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of change other than just trying to cultivate, like I said, that bulk market. So that's kind of where we're at. What happened in 2024, looking forward to 2025. And like I said, if you want to go over to Patreon, if you're a member over there, we're going to do a special video for y'all breaking down these numbers, give you some hard dollar figures. If you're not a member, but you'd still like to see that, we will make that available to you. You can pick that up, and we're glad to share it with you if you want it. If you don't, hey, no big deal. No big deal at all. So, like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.